Hey everybody, it's LTM here. I'm at the Cinemark right now, and I'm about to go and watch Joker 2, or it's Joker something, but I can't say the name and pronouncement right, but I'm seeing the sequel to Joker. I love the first Joker, believe it or not. I know there was a lot of controversy when it first came out, and I know people are very split on it, but dude, I love the first movie. I thought it was great on how it portrayed mental illness. I love its themes. And I love the Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker. He's not my favorite Joker, but I prefer Mark Hamill or Jack Nicholson or even Heath Ledger. But I do like him as the Joker, and I do like just the idea of it. I mean, exploring Joker in a different point of view. Even though it's a little deviant from the source material, if you know what I mean. But it reminded me of movies like Taxi Driver mixed in with like the King of Comedy in that sort of way, where it's sort of like one of those movies, basically. But it took me back to American Psycho, as you probably argue, you could argue is like that too, where you have an unstable man going through this crazy madness, and he's going around making crazy bad decisions wherever he goes. It's a really good idea, and bottom line, I love the first film. I remember when I worked back up here back at Cinemark, it was chaotic and insane when the first movie came out around here, because theaters were packed for it. I remember security guards when the first movie came out. All the security guards were walking down the halls. I remember we had to check every single ID for everybody that was going to see this movie. It was crazy. And now we have a sequel. At first, I was not at the idea at first, because I always thought Joker was fine as a standalone movie. But then as more trailers kept coming on, I'm like, okay, they got Lady Gaga in this, so maybe there might be a chance this may end up being good. You never know, because, sometimes sequels can surprise you. All right, so I'm going to go into this theater, and I'll go watch the movie, and I'll give you all my thoughts when I come back. This is LTM, and I'll be right back. Hey, everybody, I'm back from the theater. Well, I'm out of the theater, but I just got out of watching Joker. And I just want to state for the record, I saw the reviews when I got out of the film, and when I got out, I had a very similar reaction. But at the same time, here's the thing about this movie. It's going to be a little complicated because, like I stated earlier, I like the first film. I think it's very historically significant. Joaquin Phoenix is not my favorite Joker, but he is a good one. I enjoyed the first film. And when going into this movie, when I heard that this was originally just meant to be a standalone thing, I did get a little apprehensive because I didn't know what the direction they were going to go with this movie. And getting out after seeing the reviews, I can kind of see what they're saying, but at the same time, I kind of still have fun with it. Now, this is not a good movie. Joker 2 is not good, but it is better than it could have been. Worse than what it could have been. But at the same time, it could have been a lot better. I'm straight down the middle with this movie. I am not in. I'm not with the positive. I'm not with the negative. I'm straight down the middle. I think it's okay, but at the same time, what makes this film okay is just how insane this movie is. So Arthur Fleck, aka Joker, is back. He's in the jail like he was at the end of the first film, where he's in the asylum, but in this one he's in prison. And he's trying to go into court to see if he can prove his mental illness. And he ends up meeting this girl who's played by Lady Gaga, which is basically Harley. They fall in love, and Joker starts having all these weird dream sequences. They don't really explain it, but it's like these little dream sequences or daydreams or whatever he has. Like that's where the musical numbers comes in, because I kind of forgot this was a musical. And all of a sudden, he just kind of, most of the movie is just him going to court and trying to prove about his mental illness, while also falling in love with Harley Quinn. And that's really about it, honestly. It is a smaller story than the first film, because the first film likes to explore. Here's what's good to the good stuff. Much like the first movie, where it tried to explore how the world treats the mental illness. This one exploits the mental illness. Like it's showing how our society treats it, and how people handle it and things like that. Because everybody's cruel in this world. It's not a very safe environment. It's a very dark city, and people are being treated, the mental illness is being treated differently. I like that. I also like the acting in this. Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga don't have a lot of good chemistry, to be brutally honest. It's not a really good romance, but their performance are really good in this, especially Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. I thought they would do a little bit more with her, but we'll get to that in just a minute. The musical numbers are really unnecessary, but at the same time, they did a really good job doing a lot of creative stuff, a lot of creative visual effects, a lot of creative set designs. And I do want to mention one thing, that opening sequence, that animated opening sequence, probably the best part of the film, and it was just perfect. It sets the tone. It has little to do with the plot, but it sets the tone. It's very nostalgic because it's like a 50s, 60s Looney Tunes Tom and Jerry cartoon. And it was just amazing. That opening sequence was just phenomenal. It was kind of clunky exposition, sure, but it was well done. The stuff with the musical numbers, I was gonna say this till I get to the really bad stuff, but the musical numbers, while they're fine on their own, are just really unnecessary and poorly executed because they have little to do with the plot. Kind of like the opening sequence. They're not badly done, they just have no purpose. And I think if this movie wasn't a musical and just let it be like the first film where it's just very subtle and no musical numbers at all. But at the same time, I don't know what the direction was intentionally was, but musical numbers are not horrible, they're just unnecessary. Let's get to the other white elephant in the room, and that's the running time. The movie was 2 hours and 20 minutes. Buddy, I don't know about you, I about halfway fell asleep watching this, so I don't know why this was even considered be over 2 hours. The first movie was over 2 hours, sure, but at least it didn't drag a whole lot. It was able to balance the tone and the pacing and everything perfectly in that first film. This one, it just feels like they're dragging and trying to come up with other ideas and other scenes and characters that really not a lot of them go anywhere except for the courtroom stuff, and it just didn't go anywhere. So yeah, kind of a mixed bag, honestly. Joker 2, I'm gonna call it Joker 2 for now because I can't say the actual title of it. So overall, Joker 2 is kind of a hard movie to pick on. But with that, it's a really insane movie too, because it's almost like you kind of wonder what's going on, but at the same time, it's like, what just happened? Like literally, once the movie ended, I was like, wow, that's it. Like that's literally the end. I didn't say that, but in my mind, it's like, that was it. That's the movie. I won't spoil the ending because, well, it might. There's plenty of other people you can look online for spoilers, but the movie, overall, guys, it's a very middling movie. It's kind of a hard movie to talk about and a hard movie to recommend. I guess if you like the first movie, like a huge fan of the first film, you might like this. I'll give you exactly what you're looking for. But if you're someone that if you're someone that did not like the first film or doesn't want to see 2 hours of just of Joker and Harley Quinn dancing, then you're not going to dig this movie out. It's kind of a bore fest, honestly. But if you are curious, if you really want to see something, however, if you want to see something a little bit different, like unlike the first film, I say at least watch this once just to experience the madness, because like I said, this movie is all over the place, but at the same time, it was kind of entertaining of how all over the place it was. So overall, I give Joker 2 a 6 out of 10. It was a little disappointing because I really want this movie to do very well, and it doesn't look like it's going to, just because of the reviews and how our competition's pretty bad right now. But at the same time, I'm sure it'll have its fans. I do prefer the first movie a lot more than the second one. And if you are curious, it is playing out here in theaters right now, so go check it out if you haven't seen it yet. Alright, so that's Joker 2. What's your favorite DC film? Please subscribe, comment below, let me know. This is LTM signing out, and I'll see you guys later.